What's up, brothers and sisters? It's your boy Juice. Today, getting a little bit of rain. It rained pretty good the other night, and then the past 2 days, it's looked like it wants to rain. And I've said this before a bunch of times because that's what usually happens here. I'm not quite sure why. A possibility is because of the hills that surround this area, but I'm not sure. I really don't know. Maybe there's just not the potential of energy here. I mean, I don't quite understand. Look at what it just did right there. It essentially always goes around us or it breaks apart. And it's really weird because it's just this area. For instance, this storm is, well, you see all the circles though? I just noticed that right now. Hold on. Here in the beginning. Right there. Hold on. See it right here? Hold on. Let's look at that. An instant replay. So you can see them going across here. So essentially, that's not rain. That's more like interference. Now, it does look like rain when it approached. So you can see right here where it's almost like an invisible force field blocking it or breaking it apart. See it? See, there's like, you can say the main circle is probably like right in here. You can see the outline right here. Okay. This has to be from the sun, essentially. And its particles moving. It's almost like, how can I put it? If you were a Ghostbuster, this is probably the best analogy I've ever come up with, now that I think about it, to explain how this works. This circle is essentially where it is being hit, targeted. Okay? This circle. It's gotten worse over time. I've never quite seen it move the way it is here because it essentially is moving almost like a beam. This is the solar energy piercing and going through our magnetosphere and our ionosphere. So, yes, Earth is blocking dangerous cosmic particles, but at the same time, you cannot have a reaction without an action. And the action here is the energy being distributed from the sky to the ground. The Earth and Mother Nature does the rest on its own. Nobody's helping her. Nobody's using weapons or anything of that nature. It's almost like sunlight to a magnifying glass, except we're not being burned. Now, there are instances where this beam does come down like the sun in a magnifying glass, us essentially being the ants. This was happening in California quite a bit. Remember, people were saying they're shooting laser beams from the sky. It's the government. No, it's not the government. No, it was not people purposely setting the fires. Sometimes it is, and that is, I can say, the government's excuse as to why this is happening, because they don't want you to know that these beams are coming from the sun, plasma, a death ray. They would rather you think hooligans are running around setting fires and that, yes, they have some kind of satellite that shoots beams down. Okay? That's what they'd rather you believe. That they are doing it. That hooligans are doing it. That Republicans are doing it. That Democrats are doing it. That they're taking out the substations. No. It's the sun. That they're cyber attacking us. No. That's the lie and reason as to why their systems are not working. They'd rather you think and believe all of that. Okay? Because if you really knew what was going on, then people would freak the hell out, and then they would turn to God. And that's not what they want you to do. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of earthquakes going on too. Right here in New Mexico. Well, there was a pretty strong one. 10 hours ago, 3.5. It's almost a 4.0. Then you have all of these going on. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm making this video essentially is because, well, we're on Earthquake Alert as always. And I was going to say, take a look at the fires. The fires have really changed. Oh, not power outages. Fires. They have changed their pattern. And it's mostly on the West Coast all the way to Canada now. You can see where this pattern is shifting. Okay. Now, take a look at the smoke and how far it's gone. This is Mexico. We're already almost in South America right here. Okay. You got Texas, all of Mexico, and then South America, which is a pretty big, vast amount of land, including from Texas to Canada. Beyond that, almost to Alaska. Let's take a look at where it goes as far as the east of the equator. Now it is reaching all the way to Spain, Morocco. This map only allows me to see this much, but I can essentially tell you that down here is a big old poof. Over here in Africa is a big old poof. You got all this right here is a big old poof. Now, I always use this example. One of those globes that you shake around and the snow spins, right? Well, what happens to the snow? That's right. It comes back down to the ground and you shake it again. Well, essentially, this is what the smoke is doing. Okay? It's all up in the air. It's blocking the sun. And then it comes back down to the ground. And then the rest of everything that I'm not going to explain, like the storms, the electricity, blah, 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 stirs up that smoke, moves it somewhere else, or distributes it through the rest of the planet. This would cause a cooling effect. Hence the reason why the weather's probably changed drastically. Things are happening at an all-time quick pace here, ladies and gentlemen. So do your best to be prepared. More than anything, spiritually. That I can tell you. I don't know why people tell you to get prepped. There is no such thing as prepping. Okay? What happens if the house catches on fire? What happens if it floods? What happens if hooligans come banging on your door? You might have to leave. And essentially you spent all that money on useless junk that's either going to get stolen, broken, lost, and then you'd be screwed again. So you see the circles right here? Yeah, you'd be screwed. It was pointless. Now, I'm not saying don't prepare. You prepare in some kind of way, at least for a minimal stay. I mean, personally, I feel that, like, when things go down and everything goes to beep, that, most people, I'm afraid to say, and I hate to be honestly blunt, but that's brutally blunt, is what I'm best at doing. A lot of people dislike me for that, but I'm just, hey, don't hate me. Hate whatever is happening. That's for you and the creator, because I'm just a messenger, so don't kill the messenger. But I feel like in a week or 2 weeks, most people would probably have succumbed to something. Anything. Everything. It would be like, welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.